welcome to Createful Art. If you haven't met me yet, I am Ashley. On this channel we have art lessons, art tutorials, and creativity exercises. And today I would like to talk to you about what is art. First of all, art is broad. So let's narrow that down a bit and let's talk about what fine art is. Whenever I think about this, I like to talk about the artist Marcel Duchamp. And he is the guy with the porcelain urinal. The porcelain urinal was called Fountain, and it was submitted for the exhibition of the Society of Independent Artists in 1917. This happened in New York City. Duchamp was actually a board member of the Independent Artists Society. For this exhibition, the only requirement was that artists need to pay a fee. But the fountain was rejected by the committee. Surprise, surprise. And because of this, Marcel resigned out of protest. Does art have to be beautiful? And the answer to that question is no. So why did Marcel actually submit a urinal as a piece of art? Well, this answers the question, what is fine art? By submitting the porcelain urinal as a piece of fine art, he wanted the audience to ask the same question. So what is fine art? Fine art is communication. Communication isn't just words. So what are you communicating with art? With art, you communicate something that's intellectual or emotional or both. Duchamp was trying to say this, and it worked. People got emotional about this art piece. People started asking questions, what is art? It is obvious when you look at the most successful artists that there is some that are going to be pleasing to you and some of them that aren't, but that doesn't change the fact that they are successful or not. But the most important thing is when we're looking at the urinal, what is it communicating to us? For some people, they felt angry, the emotion anger, when they saw this urinal as a portray of fine art. This was complete nonsense to them. Because the truth is, when art is a communication, you can either try to understand the communication of the person, or you can decide you don't want to listen. And either way, it still doesn't change the fact that that person is trying to communicate. When Duchamp was 15 years old, he was already an artist, a well-known artist. He was actually working as an impressionist. His style was heavily influenced by other artists as he was developing his own style. But he came to a point where he was wondering, what is my style? What is my contribution? And how I know this is because of his quote, "There is no more for the impressionist to find." And during his time, Cubism was becoming very popular. It was a new trend. And it annoyed him that these artists that were becoming really well known had only been doing this for a year or two and had started writing books about what Cubism should be. That's when he started separating himself from groups. And he even said, and I quote, "I never wanted to be a part of a group." So he did not like to be categorized, and that's what we do with art, we categorize it. He also thought that in order to contribute to a group, you had to be an individual first in order to offer anything that was beneficial to the group. So once you begin to understand Duchamp, you understand his art and what he was trying to communicate and what emotion he was trying to communicate. To help yourself find who you are as an artist, you have to ask yourself, who am I as an artist? And in order to figure that out, you have to ask, well, what is art? What is art to me? What do I want to communicate through my art? And you grab a basketball and stick it in a glass box and call that a piece of art. Can I go and sell this paintbrush for $1 million? Or a piece of rope, which somebody has actually done. So one thing with that question of, is my art good enough? Is it art? All that, those wonderful questions that come up to artists and hobby artists, and all that. The basic reason why people don't like the way their art looks is because they haven't communicated through their artwork what they want to communicate. And a lot of times it's because the goal is not communication. The goal is to make it look just like the picture. But I can tell you, every artist, if they want to develop as an artist, needs to know how to make things look realistic. But that doesn't mean that's where they need to stay. I went through the stage painting what somebody else thought I should be painting. And now when people tell me, I just completely ignore them. Because the only time I should be painting for someone else is when I'm teaching them how to paint it. But when it comes to my own work, it's my own voice. And when they see it, you don't know whether they're going to like it or not. Not everybody's going to love what you create. And not everybody's going to love what I create. And don't try to be somebody else. Don't try to be somebody else. Somebody's going to say, well, that isn't art, or that's already been done, or whatever they want to tell you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because it's your voice, it's not somebody else's. It's never been done. Unless you're copying their work. It's never been done. But you don't have to try that hard. Just do. So here's to Marcel Duchamp for being
you.